Now this should be a fairly easy one. Georgie girl thinks so. So just say that every time I say something like that, it backfires on me. Georgie, do you think this is going to be an easy one? Do you? No? Let's have a look and see. Oh, she just thumped me. Look, what are you thumping me for? Ow, 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 ow. Right, okay. It's a Gio Ibanez, right? It looks like a nice little guitar. Nothing exciting about this one, except for you might just look closely there and you might just, oh, I'll show you it in the body. But the neck, oh, it needs a good clean and service. Georgie, go stop. She's thumping me. You're mean. Stop being so nasty. She's thumping me because I'm talking to you. She likes attention completely. But humbucker, 2 solo pickups. Everything sort of looks pretty. It's 5-way switch. Everything looks grand. I wonder if I can show you. It's black, but it's got speckles in it. And when it cleaned up, it's, boy, black guitars. But if you look closely, I don't know where you're going to, but there's some speckles in it. So I'll look up, but I can't show. Oh, there you can see some speckles. It's not dust. The speckles in the black. So hopefully when that's all nice and cleaned up, we'll see how it goes. Now, Georgie girl's huffing. Are you huffing? Are you huffing? She's huffing because I'm talking to you. Anyway, it's got scuffs on it. The neck looks grand. The back looks grand. Nothing much I can tell you. There's a serial number there. If partial serial 2166. Not sure what that means. What's that there? So we'll do a deep dive into this. Oh, that might be part of what that is. It's been ripped off and stuck up there. Sorry. It looks like that might be plastic. It was ripped off and stuck up there. I'll see if I can restore it to get the right number. Okay. Overhead camera now. The weird pattern with nice. Oh, I thought it was nice yellow washers. That's my camera reflecting. Okay, we'll try the electrics now and hopefully everything will be lovely and neat in there. Switched off, right. Strings are horrendously black and dirty. Didn't spot that. Right, let's try this and see what it's like. I'm going to clean that anyway, but I like this. So let's just see. Actually, that's no good to me. Yeah, that's better. Electrics are all fine. Volume works. Yeah, tone control works. Simple guitar. One thing I did want to tell you about is this is a screw in, but it screws in too far, because that's what people do. They screw these things in far, but it's screwed to the wrong. That's no good. So if you want it tight, it's got to be there. So I'll have to just work at it. I like it. Nice little guitar. Pity they made the thing so bloody big at the top. It could have been a bit more subtle on it. But anyway, no complaining. Everything okay. So this should be an easy one. Right. I have strings in order. Well, let's not waste any time. Let's get stuck straight into what I need to do. I'm going to check the neck now. The electrics are fine. Check the neck. See what we're working with. There's only 2 sides. Do I get it right the first time? No, I don't. Which is my life story. Sometimes I have to have 3 goes at it. Looks like I'm not maybe I was right the first time. Oh, I was. Whoa, you could get a bridge, a bus onto there. Alright, we'll come back to you again in a second. Yeah, I was doing so well. Until the phone starts to go. This is some hours later, and I've changed the tone of my lights. What am I doing loosening the strings for? What am I doing loosening the strings? Get off, strings, get off. You know I like doing this, cutting the strings. Where's Georgie girl? She's eating something, but she won't be for long. Wait till you see. She'll be here. Oh, I see her sniffing around. What do you say? What do you say? What do you see? Well, these are all loose, aren't they? Because I cut them at the bend. They should fall through. There she is. Coming up to sniff for the strings. Her favorite strings. She's coming up to the head of the guitar now. Oh, she's eating the strings outside of your vision. You never get to eat strings. You can see them flicking about in the camera. The strings. Now, Georgie girl, I'm going to have to get rid of those strings, so you're going to have to just not eat. Sorry. There she is. When she goes for those strings, she forgets that humans bleed, and she'll jump up for the strings and climb up your body, even if you're wearing just a shirt and shorts. She just doesn't think. Goes daft. And blood trail left later on. I don't know why I'm doing this. What am I doing? Why am I wasting my time? Georgie girl, you just carry on there. I'm going to do another job. You play with the strings, right? Now I'm going to try to straighten it, reduce the amount of bow in it. Maybe I can show you the bow with my other camera, and I'll put it in there just to let you see. If I can let you see the amount of bow on it, it's quite a bit. Might explain something at the other end, whether I see the bow. Can you see the underbow? There. Yeah. You can, I think you can. Anyway, that probably would explain this, why these are all right up to the maximal. Okay. Right, Georgie girl's still playing about there, so I'm going to get my Allen keys just to see what. Let's just guess at that one. Oh, look at that. Perfect. Hey, hey, look who's good, hey? It needs tight. No, it's very loose, so that probably explains it. Don't think it's ever been tightened before. Let me just see how that does. Oh, look at that. Look at that. I'll just show you it in the camera too. It's perfect. You see. That's perfect. Can you see? Can you see? Can you see? Alright, that's nice and straight. I'm not going to put an underbow on it at the moment. I like the pressure on it. I'm a hypocrite. Sometimes I like an underbow, sometimes I don't. So, now, the neck is really bad state. That's all. It's so dry. And let's check the fret leveling to see what we got. Been fairly well played up here. Not overly, but just a bit, you know. So I'm just going to use a bit of sandpaper on it to clean it up. She's climbing up my leg. Look, you don't use me as a climbing post. Go over there. Right, but I'm going to have to open up a new piece of sandpaper in my tray. Right, these are 3000s, those are 2000s. What are you? You're 2000, so I'm going to use you. They're wet and dry sandpaper, and I don't like using them, but now I'm going to change the way I do the videos a little bit. I'm going to, because it's all for charity, I've got to make sure I let people know that how to get to the charity should they want to donate. So I'm going to put just a little bit of an intro video maybe in the middle of a video, just to say, maybe only 30 seconds, just to stick in to say, listen, this is all in native animals, and if you feel like donating the animals, just here's the details. And maybe give an example of some of the animals that they have, that they're caring for. Because I'm doing this for nothing, but I'd like people to be able to make sure that they do make a donation. I don't ask them if they make a donation, and I don't tell them how much to make a donation to, but it's important that we keep feeding up the animals, because things are getting more expensive for the whole planet, and that includes the animals as well. So I will put a little sort of 15-second, maybe 1 15-second at in the middle and 1 15-second at the end. Right, this neck is as dry as a Sahara Desert. So it's going to need 2 or 3 coats of my favorite. Yo, look at this here. Love it. Love it. Right, okay. I'm just going to... It was very dry. I don't think it's ever had a drink in its life. I did have a drink once. When I lived in Manchester, I went to the Millionaires Club. Maybe I'm telling this story again. I shouldn't repeat myself, because I'm old. Old people repeat themselves. But I went to the Millionaires Club and I drank vodka. I was on my own. Not lonely, but I was on my own. I was 30-something in Manchester, and it was a great time. And I went to the Millionaires Club, and I think, my memory's vague, but the number 30 comes to mind. 30 shots of vodka. Now, the shots in England are this size, tiny little things, so probably about 15 real shots of vodka anywhere else in the world, maybe less. So I was pretty well gone, but I can remember, even now I can remember to this day, that I wasn't sick. I was perfectly okay. I had no problems. I wasn't sick, and I was playing the one-arm bandit. There's a row of one-arm bandits I can remember well and truly, and I won some sort of jackpot, and all these coins came flooding out of my hand, and I was holding them, and I didn't want them. And I says to the lady beside me, here, you have them. And she and her husband took them graciously. I'm sure they were more than happy to take them. And so then I remember walking home. I walked the whole way up from the centre of Manchester to, I can remember it. I don't know why I can remember. I don't remember other times, but I walked up to the Manchester Business School where I was living at the time. And I was perfectly fine until the next day when I woke up. Bloody hell. 4 days or 3 days, can't remember exactly, I lay in bed and the room was spinning and I was sick and I was bad and I felt like I was dying. And I have to say, I've never been drunk again. I actually avoid alcohol because that was such a bad feeling. It was awful. But it taught me. I've never been drunk again, and I've never really got tipsy again. Because I don't need it. I don't need alcohol to make me gregarious, because I'm a shy individual, as you can tell. And I don't need the alcohol to make me whatever needs to be made by people like that. So I'll finish off this part while that's drying, or soaking in, should I say, not drying. I'll clean the head. Is this going to be an easy guitar to do? Do you know the problem is I don't have any strings left. I've run out of strings. I've ordered 10 sets, but they're not here yet, so I'll have to check them to see where they are. So, oh, what have I got here? Oh, look, I found a set of early ball 10s. I thought I had none left, but I've got 10s. I've got 13s, and I don't like putting 13s on anything because they're just too heavy. So I've got a set of strings, so that's okay. So I'll just clean this up. I'll speed this bit up. Okay, pause. When I was working at this, I noticed that you can't see it, but they got scratches all around there where the truss rod is. So somebody's been in and out that truss rod a lot, but they haven't done it right because it was all wrong, put it like that. So I think that's long enough to let that sit. I'll just dry it off a little bit. And then I'm going to look at the body, because the body looks to be a few scuffs that are ruining the look of it. So we'll bring the body up here once I've dried this. Well, I've dried this a bit. I'm not going to take it all off, but I'm going to dry it a bit because I'm going to work on the body now. And maybe bring you down closer. Look, the strings came out. There's 3 strings that didn't come out. So where are they? I thought it would be easier to call on you to look at the animals that a CC is taking care of, and so that if you do feel like making a donation, you'll see the type of animals that are being protected by a CC sanctuary. They have a donation button on it, and you can donate quite easily, and everything from rabbits to cats. And it's wonderful to see that there are several dogs with I am reserved and several cats with I am reserved, because the CC Animal Sanctuary just don't give out the cats and dogs. They have to inspect the homes to make sure they're going to the proper place and they're not going to be abused. So if you could do anything to send a little donation to a CC Animal Sanctuary, I would appreciate it, because that's why I'm here. Thank you now. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye, all the girls and boys. Now they're stuck there against the plastic arm. So, right, okay. Let's adjust the camera and bring you down. I don't know what you can see whenever I bring you down, but you can see there's the scuffs there. Can you see the scuffs? Yeah, you can. And I'm hoping that the polish will take it out. That's pretty badly scuffed. It hasn't been played very much in the last few years anyway, because it's been allowed to get dirty and a bit rusty, which is a bit of a pain. And there's some scuff marks there, so out comes the polish to see if I can polish them off. Ha! Polish them off! I like it! Now, come on. Right, okay. If I'm lucky, I won't have to use the buffer. And I hate the buffer. We'll look at that one first. To see if we can fix the serial number. Let me take that off. That's a pain. This is not screwing down. It's screwing down too far. So I'm going to do what some people actually hate me doing, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to score the threads about there. So the pliers are going to damage it more than fix it. I just do about there. That oh. Damage it. See what's damaged? I should patent that. Right, I feel stiff already. That's it. Now it's quite stiff going in, which is perfect. So I'll take it off now while I'm working on it, but that's it sorted. And if people don't want it damaged, they can screw it in and out several times and it'll undamage it. It'll fix itself. Right, what was I going to do? I was going to look at that before I do any more cleaning. Let me just put that there. I was going to look at that head to see if maybe we can salvage that serial number. I don't know if we can because it looks pretty scratched up. Oh, are you still not on automatic? No, you're not on automatic anymore because I took you off. Right, so let me just see what we got. close-up glasses, please. Right, this is, oh, all right, okay, so this is pretty fragile. Right, no, well, what it said was GS, so it was GS, and then something 2222. It's actually just a sticker, so it was too fragile. But I don't know whether the GS is going to be any good, or is it a CS? It's hard to tell. It's just a little sticker stuck on the back, but I'll look that up later on. And look at that. Look, many people forget to do that. They didn't take off the stickers for the backs of the tuner heads, so they'll be like new. But I'm going to pause now. Right, I've looked it up, and the CS is actually a GS. The last 5 numbers are just the consecutive serial numbers of the guitar, so that'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then the next 2 numbers of the year, which is 01, and the 2 numbers there, which are 22. So it's 22nd of January, and then the serial number 2166. So it's January the 22nd. Sorry, hold on a second, something's not right here. I'm looking at it wrong. 01 is 2001, and the 22nd. Month, year. Oh, bloody hell. Month, year. Alright, so I got it wrong, right? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then the month, January 2022. Surely not. Yeah. 2022. So this is only a year old, and it's in such lousy condition. Yeah, that's what it says. 01-2022. You would have thought it would be that, but that makes more sense actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 01 January 2022. 1 year old is January now, 2023, and it's in a bad state. Made in China. Alright, well that's the state of play. I can't think of what I could do to protect that serial number anymore. Actually, maybe I'll try. This is cheating in a big way. I'm going to put some metal polish on it, just to see if I can maybe just cover it and maybe just protect it a little bit for future generations, if that'll hold it in place. It's not what you call ideal, but it would be like a little coating of gloss over it. So that's it. It doesn't look the best, doesn't look the worst either, but it'll maybe protect it for generations to come because it's very fragile. Okay, you can't see what I did there because the cameras are just too good. So I'm going to pause while that dries. I haven't eaten yet, and it's 8 o'clock, so I'm going to go and get something to eat. Well, I can't figure out why I made that detour up to the head. Why did I do that? I still haven't finished doing the buffing and polishing down this end. Trying to get rid of that little score. Just maybe I just drifted. Buffing and polishing's pain, boring stuff, and it requires me to breathe. Still, oh God, Johnny. I was sitting watching Star Trek. First contact with the Romulans in 50 years. It's not a bad program. It was fascinating when I was first watching it years ago. I didn't spot all the silliness of it. There's no need for material things. Everything is provided for you. Sounds like Klaus Schwab. You will not need money and you will not need anything. That's what his... He says you don't need money and you will not need anything as he gets into his private jet to tell us that we will not need money and we will not need anything. He can go to hell, mate. He can go to hell. The one thing that says Star Trek is a dream, you know, like peace, and you don't need to earn money and all that, and you don't have to work, and everybody's equality and treated well. Well, it does sound like a dream. The problem is you would be bored out of your tiny skull if you didn't have something to achieve or something to do, and sitting watching TV all day or improving your mind is what Star Trek says you have to do. Improve your mind. You don't need to work. Yet people work. No, not for me. Thank you. And it would never work either. And they actually tried that with the first colony of people who arrived in the United States, the Pilgrims. They tried a form of communism. It wasn't called communism in those days, but it nearly destroyed the whole setup. You know, people didn't want to work, and some did want to work, and others, and there was no motivation for people to work because others would do it, and yeah, and then they shouldn't change their minds after a year. It caused more friction because people didn't want to work and they didn't want to do anything, and the people who did work were getting angry at the ones who didn't want to work. And it's great in theory. Communism's great in theory if you're a rich person. Or you're the boss. No, I think that I hate black guitars because you never get them as clean as you want them. I have to see if I can do anything with this over here. That's this fairly deep scratch. So I'm going to use my 2000. No, let's use the 3000. I'm going to use some 3000 sandpaper and a touch of water. A little tiny touch of water. That's 3000. Right. A tiny touch of water. You use 2000 and it makes it harder to buff it off with polishing paste. So if I use 3000, it should buff off better. This is 3000 and a little drop of water. I can't sit and watch TV all night. I watched a little bit of Star Trek, which is fine. That's about as much as I can watch. Look, still needs to go down a bit more. Okay, and you can see that we still feel it there with my finger. Look at that. When it dries up, you can still feel it. It's fairly deep. I hope I don't go down to the paint. But that's the wrong thing. I don't want to do that. I have to remember that this 3000 is only taking off a sort of bit of dust. I don't want to go in it. I can still feel it. Let me put on my other glasses as well. And you forgive my bald head. Yeah, I'm not going to go any further than that. I'm just going to use some polish to try to bring it up. Now, maybe I'm being a coward, but I could maybe go further. Once you hit the paint, you're going to be sorry. Well, that's pretty good. That's okay. That's done a bit of bluffing. Not great, but it's done okay. I might just try a little touch there of the old water, because that worked fairly well there. Brought up a nice shine as well. We'll try that. Using sideways now. It's you can see that's better now anyway. Right, somebody's rubbed in the middle with a rough cloth, but I'm not going to do any more over the middle. And there's scratches there, somebody's nails. This is not great still, but I'm not going to do any more with that up there. And let's turn around and look at the back to see what we have to do cleaning the back. It's all scratched. It could do the complete buffing job, because belt buckles and all scratched there. But no, I'm just gonna tidy it up. It's not great. It's not awful. It's not perfect. Neither's the front perfect. It'd be nice to be able to put guitars out the door that are perfect, but they can only go out the door perfect if they come in the door perfect. Am I being prophetic or am I being pathetic? Pathetic? Right, okay. Right, now what the situation is, now we're going to stick some strings on. I'm going to switch off the camera, because it's not wasting space on the thing, but it's just whenever I transfer it to computer it takes too long. So I'll come back to you when the strings are on. I'm ready to tune it up. Okay, that's it. Tuned once. That's strange, because they had fiddled a lot with these intonators at the back for height, put them way up high, and the action was atrocious. But it was all to do with the way they fiddled with the truss rod, because if you look now, you'll see the action down there is excellent with the neck straight, and it plays well. So I'm going to trim the strings, tune it again, and play a couple of chords on it. Okay? Well, there you are. There's that little guitar. Could do with a really good professional buffing, but other than that, it's pretty good. The only thing I did off camera was I turned the screws in the tuners just to tighten up the peg heads a bit, because they were a bit loose. Hello, Georgie girl. But it's playing well. Pickups are excellent. lots of power from the pickup. Have a listen to just. You can hear the difference. I should say lots of power from the humbucker, but twice the volume of the other pickups, you know. So I think that's about all I need to do. I like this little guitar. I like it a lot. And there you go. It's going back home. An Ibanez Gio, it's called. A Gio, not a Rio, in case I said that at the beginning.